Hi, and welcome back to my channel, A Lot of Elena. So if you watched my previous video, you're probably wondering why the screen was so narrow and so skinny. Well, it turns out that I actually recorded the video the wrong way. So apparently you're supposed to turn your phone, and I didn't know that. So I had people texting me after saying, hey, maybe you should redo it. You need to turn your phone. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I didn't know. I just recorded it like I would normally record a video. You could almost say that I plan to record the video that way to show you and to prove to you that I'm not perfect, that I make mistakes, and that I'm still learning. Anyways, now that I'm done with that rant, welcome back to my channel. And today I'm so excited to talk about vulnerability in regards to building strong relationships with our students. I want you to think about who your favorite teacher was through your educational experience. Why were they your favorite teacher? Probably because they invested a great amount of time in getting to know you. They knew about your life, they cared about you, they were funny. They probably affected your life in some positive way. I know for me, when I was in 4th grade, I had Mrs. Vortreed, and she had 2 kids, Elizabeth and William. She loved Disney World. Her whole classroom was decked out in Disney. And she just really invested the time and effort it took to get to know me and as her student. I remember being in high school and having this really young, cute math teacher, and did not know anything about her. Like, I knew she was married because she was wearing a ring, but I did not know she had a husband, didn't know her husband's name, didn't know where she grew up, didn't know what she liked to do for fun, didn't know what she liked to do on the weekends, didn't know zilch, like did not know anything about this lady. So it's like, yes, you're teaching me math, but at the same time, who are you as a human being and how can I learn from you? It's like, maybe if she told me that, hey, I went to this high school and I actually really struggled with math, but that's why I wanted to be a math teacher because I wanted to help kids like me, maybe I'd have more respect and be more compelled to listen to her. I mentioned in my previous video about my mentor, Dr. Sarah Jean Baker. She was one of my professors at Missouri State University. And she is my favorite professor because on the first day of class, we all walked in and she has this slideshow prepared of who she is. So there's pictures of her and her family and where she grew up and where she just moved from. She was brand new to the university, and why, her reason why she decided to go into higher education to teach future teachers what they need to know to enter the field. If I'm gonna listen to you and learn from you, I wanna know why you're doing what you're doing. The same goes for my students. Why should my students listen to me? I mean, yes, they're in school and they have to listen to me, but I don't want them to have to listen to me. I want them to be so interested in what I have to say and know that I value what they say and what they think. So what's the magic strategy that we can use to make sure our students listen to us? Unfortunately, I don't have a magic strategy that will make students listen to us, but I do know that being vulnerable and being real with them is a huge impact. So the first day of school should be all about, hey, I'm Miss Collins and this is my first year of teaching, but I really love coffee and I love to do yoga and be active, and I have 2 younger brothers and a mom and a dad, and I love to craft and to bake. And when I was in elementary school, reading was really hard for me. I felt like all my classmates could read so much better than me, and I actually had to have some additional help from other teachers outside of the classroom. And I had to be pulled away from class so that they could help me read better. And after a lot of work, I actually became much better at reading, and now reading is one of my favorite things to do. After being vulnerable with my own experiences growing up in school, I could open it up to the students and ask for them to make a connection to me. And I could say, hey, raise your hand if you've ever faced something challenging in school. And so because I created that safe space where I admitted to facing a challenge in school, other students might be willing or compelled to make a connection to me. And even a student who's more shy might notice, oh wow, all of these other students are admitting that they have faced something challenging, so I feel comfortable enough now too. Just like this video is now turned the right way and I learned something, I want to show my students that same vulnerability and transparency, and to prove to them that, hey, I'm a human being, I'm gonna mess up, this is my first year of teaching, like you better bet that I'm gonna make some mistakes. But guess what, it's okay, because this is a safe space where we can take risks, we can grow, and we can reflect along the way. I mean, if my little bunch of kids can learn how to be compassionate, to be courageous, to persevere when there's something hard going on, Those are all real life skills that I want them to acquire and to be able to apply to their real life. Don't get me wrong, the academics are so important. But in my opinion, academics come second. I want to teach my kids to become internally motivated, driven, ambitious, lifelong learners who just have a will and a power to leave a positive impact in the world. So back to vulnerability. This past January, I completed a long-term substitute position in kindergarten. It was probably the most challenging experience I've ever had. I was thrown into a classroom which had already been established, had already been routines and procedures that were set and implemented that were not my own. So in February, I was about to begin the new science unit, which was pushes and pulls. And I wanted to start this unit with some kind of engaging and exciting STEM activity to show the kids that, hey, we're gonna learn so much, and I just wanted it to be fun. Within about 5 minutes, I realized, okay, this is not a good idea. Someone's going to get hurt. We need to stop this now. So I stopped right then and there and I said, okay, kindergarten, I need you to come here. And so I sat down on the floor with them and I said, great, like who's noticing what's happening in our classroom right now? And it was really quiet and still. I brought it all back to, I'm a brand new teacher and I'm learning just like you're learning in school. And I wanted to kick off this new unit with something so fun and so exciting, but I'm noticing that this classroom right now is not the safest space for everyone. There's scissors that are being used inappropriately, and there's balloons that are flying up in the air. And so I'm realizing that I didn't give you specific directions, and that's my fault. And I said, I'm sorry that this didn't work out. I'm gonna find a solution so that we can do this activity and it will actually work better next time. So just being vulnerable and being real with them about how I was sad that the activity didn't work out actually resulted in them displaying compassion and empathy for me. And they responded by saying, it's okay, Miss Collins, we'll figure something out. We can do it next week. I began offering suggestions. So this whole experience turned into a lesson. Really understand the impact of vulnerability. So I challenge you, show your students who you really are. When you mess up, tell them. If you just found out some really exciting news about your family, invite them in and tell them, hey guys, guess what I just found out? Students crave connection and want to know who you really are. So thank you for watching, and remember, live your passion, share your heart, and be a light.